On your mark, get set, go. Mark Facebook Zuckerberg came back to India for the second time in 12 months, proving beyond doubt his like for the country and its opportunities.
It's great to be here in India.
And as anyone on an official tour, Zuckerberg did things by the book and faithfully posted his pictures on his very own Facebook.
I always loved coming here.
Sporting his trademark round neck t-shirt and jeans, he posed in front of the Taj in Agra. On his FB page, his status update said, "It's incredible what people can build and what love can motivate us to build." Runaway success may have been the lot of Mark Elliott Zuckerberg, but that does not deter this young billionaire, and several times over, to run a bit more. Early one not-so-cold morning, Zuckerberg went running at the India Gate in New Delhi. Another great photo op to mark the FB CEO, marking his iconic presence in front of an Indian landmark. Next stop, the nursery where germinates the brains and potential of a digital future. Not just for India, but for the world laid wide open. One of the premier IITs that churn out techno mavericks to arm the revolution that feeds off the megabits and gigabytes of opportunity.
Hey, it's great to be here in India. I always love coming here. The energy here is awesome.
Till Mark reached the hallowed portals of IIT Delhi, TV had been kept at bay. But now the lens opened wide to catch every gesture of the FB Wonder Kid and his center stage performance in front of a packed and expectant audience. But there was that pause before the outpouring. As the media waited outside, straining at the leash, so did the youth of 1,000 dreams.
And I have a question, what was the moment when he decided connecting the world is the major primary goal of his life?
Why do you think Zuckerberg chose IIT Delhi?
Because IIT is, I think, the biggest hub where technology is actually incubating. So probably, I think, and a lot of students from IIT actually go and join Facebook.
Maybe because of Modi also, he's saying about Startup India and Stand Up India. So IIT Delhi students are one of the top most students of India. So Zuckerberg, even a small piece of advice would mean a lot to IIT Delhi students.
Probably, I think my question would be that, at a very young age, he actually went for entrepreneurship. And probably even I want to actually know that how is it, there's some trigger which always comes in your life, probably which changes your life forever. So probably, what is it that inspired him the most?
I think I would like to ask him, what do you think your study at Harvard impacted your work at Facebook, and how much is it really helping you? I think that will be a good insight, because he will have a way more insight than any student out here or the professors.
And to think that all this was in anticipation of hearing a college dropout weave his words of enchantment to draw the picture of a magical world. A world where the book of social interaction is being rewritten and virtually redrafted with every like that gets posted on Facebook. So as expected, this was another big thumbs up for Mark Zuckerberg and his prolific likeness for India.
I'd like to call on Mark on stage.
Hey, it's great to be here in India. I always love coming here. The energy here is awesome. So thank you guys all for coming out here today for our first town hall Q&A in India. I'm so excited to be here. India has 130 million people who use Facebook. It's the second biggest country. So it's really important, I think, to have a chance to hear from all of you today and hear what you're thinking about, and we'll probably get some ideas for how we can make Facebook a better service.
And why are you showing so much interest in India? Answer honestly.
So our mission is to give everyone in the world the power to share what's important to them and to connect every person in the world. And India is the world's largest democracy. It's one of the biggest countries where if you really have a mission of connecting every person in the world, you can't do that without helping to connect everyone in India. So we think about this in two ways. First, there are already more than 130 million people in India who use Facebook. It is one of the largest communities that we have across the world, and we take our responsibility to serve the people in India who are already using Facebook and WhatsApp, which is also in our family of products. We take that very seriously and hear what they need from us and what we're doing well or what we're doing that we can improve and need to do better. That's a huge thing that we need to do for our community. The second part is that there are 1 billion people in India who do not have access to the internet yet. And if what you care about is connecting everyone in the world, then you can't do that if there are so many people who don't even have access to basic connectivity. Now, everyone here probably has access to the internet in some capacity, and when you've had it for a while, you start to take it for granted. You think about it as maybe it's something that I can use to get access to entertainment or some basic communication tools. But it's easy to forget that if you haven't had access to the internet, it's really a tool that provides some vital infrastructure for your life, right? I mean, it can provide educational information for people who don't have access to good schools. It can provide health information on how to take care of your child or avoid diseases for people who don't have access to good doctors or health infrastructure. It can provide access to job listings for people who live in poorer villages where the economy isn't very strong. So the research has shown on this that for every 10 people who get access to the internet, about one person gets a new job, a job is created, and about one person gets lifted out of poverty. So there's just a tremendous opportunity in India, right? If there are 1 billion people who are not connected, then this is one of the biggest opportunities, I think, to help develop the economy here and to help alleviate poverty and really lift up a lot of folks. And it's easy to talk about this as something that will be important for India, but I actually think that connecting people in India is one of the most important things that we can do for the whole world, right? Because it's not just improving the lives of people here that getting access to the internet will have. It's also that there are all these ideas that entrepreneurs and students have here that the rest of the world doesn't have access to today because those people don't have the ability to share what they know, right, in their experience. All the things that entrepreneurs and students could produce if they had access to these tools. Everyone around the world, not just in India, but every other person in the world is currently robbed of that opportunity because folks don't have the opportunity that they need here to create the companies or opportunities that they want. So that's why I care about it. We have a large community of people here. It's the second biggest community that we have in the world, and we care deeply about serving that well and giving everyone the best tools that we can to help people share everything that they want. And we really want to get the next 1 billion people online. And if we can play a role in either of those things, then that's something that I personally care a lot about. And that's why I'm so excited to be here.
Mark Zuckerberg admitted that Facebook cannot afford to ignore the largest democracy of the world, and that too with the second largest number of Facebook users. And of course, the logic cuts both ways. No way could Prime Minister Modi go to America and ignore Facebook. So in September this year, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi not only addressed the UN General Assembly, he also addressed a town hall at Facebook headquarters in Silicon Valley. Zuckerberg colored his profile picture in the tricolour. It is all about judging the emotion of the moment, and rarely has India seen Prime Minister Modi letting emotions get the better of him. But it apparently did when Mark Zuckerberg asked Narendra Modi about his mother at the Q&A town hall session in September. It brought tears to Modi's eyes.
When we were small, what we used to do to get by, was that we used to go to houses, our neighbors' houses nearby. We used to clean the dishes, fill water. Do hard chores. So you can imagine what a mother had to do. What a mother had to do to raise her children.
That interaction was special on so many counts. It was the coming together of the leader of the world's largest democracy and the founder of one of the world's most influential technology companies. And Mark ditched his tee and jeans to mark the occasion. That time he wore a suit. Mark's like for Modi's India began soon after Narendra Modi led the BJP to power in Delhi and launched his Digital India campaign. Investors and technocrats offshore liked this initiative, and Mark Zuckerberg first sent COO of Facebook, Sheryl Sandberg, to meet Narendra Modi. And then in October 2014, he himself came. He met Prime Minister Modi. Before going to Chandoli, a small village in Alwar, Rajasthan, to connect the 69% of India that doesn't have access to the internet. But this time, this year, when Zuckerberg came visiting, he did not meet Modi. He met young India. And they gushed and gawked. And they couldn't stop liking him.
Although we are 130 million users here, how do you wish to connect with those who are not on FB or who don't even have any access to internet? Yes.
Yeah, this is the key question, right? So if I just talked a bit about why I thought connecting everyone to the internet was important, I think what you're asking about is kind of how you do this, right? How do you get a billion people onto the internet and to improve their lives in that way? And the first thing that I'd say is just we can look at the efforts that we've had with Internet.org and our other programs around the world and here in India. Internet.org is we've had this program to spread internet connectivity. It is live in more than 24 countries and growing around the world. And here's a new stat that we haven't shared before, is there are 15 million people around the world who have access to the internet now because of the efforts that we're taking with Internet.org, who wouldn't have had it otherwise. And if you believe these stats that we've seen that show that for every 10 people who get access to the internet, there's a new job is created and a person is lifted out of poverty, then connecting 15 million people to the internet around the world is that's a pretty good impact. So I've seen some cynical reporting saying that the program isn't doing as well as we want. I don't know. If you don't think that's good, I want to know what you think is good. But we're off to a good start around the world.
So this is a question which lots and lots of people want answers to. It's one of the top voted questions on the thread. and I think it's a serious one, deserving a serious answer.
All right.
And this is, I seriously don't want to get any more invitations on Candy Crush. How can I stop getting it?
There you go. All right. See, so this is where these town hall Q&As are really useful. Because I actually saw this question, that it was the top voted question on my thread. So I sent a message to the person who runs the team in charge of our developer platform. And I said, you know, by the time that I do this town hall Q&A, I think it would be good if we had a solution to this problem. So we do. So she emailed me like later that night and was like, all right, look, there are some tools that are kind of outdated that allow people to send invitations to people who have never used a game and have gotten a lot of invitations in the past, but you know, don't play games on Facebook. And you know, we hadn't prioritized shutting that down because we just had other priorities. But if this is the top thing that people care about, then we'll prioritize that and we'll do it. So we're doing it.
Is not only the co-founder and CEO of Facebook, he's also the world's youngest billionaire. He's one of the most talked about entrepreneurs, and he effortlessly rubs shoulders with the who is who of the world. After all, it was his vision to connect with the whole world that made Facebook. Mark Elliott Zuckerberg was born on May 14, 1984, and developed an interest in computers at an early age. While still in high school, he invented FaceMash, which compared the pictures of two students on campus and allowed users to vote on which one was more attractive. The website had to be shut down, but Mark Zuckerberg knew what he was destined to do. Zuckerberg and his friends created a site that allowed users to create their own profiles, upload photos, and communicate with other users. This group ran the site, then called The Facebook, out of a dorm room at Harvard. In 2004, after his sophomore year, Zuckerberg dropped out of college and moved the company to Palo Alto, California. By the end of 2004, Facebook had 1 million users. In April 2012, Zuckerberg acquired Instagram for $1 billion in cash and stock. In May 2012, Facebook, in its initial public offering, raised $16 billion, making it the biggest internet IPO in history.
This is an awesome moment.
In October 2014, Mark Zuckerberg purchased WhatsApp for $22 billion. The net worth of Mark Zuckerberg's ingenuity is not the billions that Facebook has made, but the net that was cast in his dorm room 11 years ago and has now spread across every dorm and every room of possibly everyone who is on the net.
So my question was related to the technology that you guys are working on, the Oculus Rift. So I wanted to know that how guys you have decided to are you guys planning to incorporate that somehow to the social media?
You know, one of the big trends that we've seen on Facebook and on the internet overall is that as time goes on, people get these richer and richer mediums for sharing what's important to them. So if you go back, 10 or 15 years, most of what we shared on the internet was text, right? And over the last 5 or 10 years, now a lot of it is photos. And it's visual, and so photos, other kind of graphical content. Over the next period of time, we're really, I think, entering this golden age of internet video, where the primary way that we're going to both share our experience and consume other people's kind of experience and ideas online is going to be through video. But I don't think videos are the end of the line, right? Because as rich as a video is in terms of telling a story, it's it's still just small screen. It's still 2D, and I think that people want an even richer medium, right? You want to be able to feel like you're there, and that's what virtual reality and augmented reality can do. They can make it so that you actually feel like you're right there in the scene. So, my wife and I are expecting a daughter sometime soon. Thank you, by the way. I'm very excited about that as well. People will, write to their parents, oh, our baby had her first steps, or, you take a photo, or more recently, you take a video. I want my family to be able to be there. It's going to take, maybe 5 or 10 years to really develop before this is a very big thing that a lot of people are doing. I think that this is going to be something where you can capture these scenes and you can share them in your feed or on WhatsApp, just like you share a photo or text today, and you'll be able to pass around these things which are going to be very close to real life experiences that we have. And I think that's going to be pretty amazing. I'm really excited about that.
Facebook can be investing a lot in AI with the opening of Facebook AI Research Lab in Paris and other university collaborations. So what are some of the future products we can expect from Facebook in this regard?
Yeah, so AI is a really exciting area of development. I think about it, we have this goal that in 5 to 10 years, we want to be able to build computer systems which can be better at the main human senses than people are, right? So let me give you 2 examples. So one is, this is something that we actually just launched in the last week or 2, is, we take accessibility features on Facebook very seriously, right? So for people who are blind or can't see the service, we want to make sure that they can experience the moments that their friends are sharing with them. So one of the things that we can do now is if you're blind and you can't see a photo, we can have our AI look at the photo and figure out what's in it and then read an explanation of what is in the photo to you. So here's the person who's in the photo, they're riding a bike, here's the scene, here's what's going on. A second example. So I talked about Safety Check earlier, connected to the earthquake here. And right now, the best way for people to know that their friends and loved ones are safe are to either have yourself mark yourself as safe, or for you to mark your friend as safe, and then for us to distribute that out to the people who are going to care, right? So your friends and family. In the future, I think that it's going to be possible, with satellites and things like that, to be able to identify who is in an area and know immediately who is safe, who needs help. Today, a lot of what we do is, for people who are going in for relief efforts, they look at maps and they see where the areas that are affected are. But, is that the kind of thing that a computer could do better than a person in the future? Probably, right? And that'll save people's lives. So that's what I'm really excited about there.